Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Lakers in Brazil. NBA exec opens up about the possibility. Catching a Los Angeles Lakers game live in Brazil might not be such a far-fetched dream anymore. It could actually be closer than we think. Mark Tatum, the NBA's deputy commissioner, recently spoke candidly about the real possibility of bringing official NBA games to Brazilian soil in the near future. Earlier this year, Tatum visited São Paulo and met with the state's governor, Tarcísio de Freitas, to discuss what it would take to host NBA games in the city. He also sat down with potential investors who are eager to meet the league's requirements for international games. I believe that, not too far from now, we'll be back to seriously considering games in Brazil, Tatum told Globo Esporte. The NBA's interest in returning to Brazil is at the highest level it's ever been. There's a real sense of urgency to make it happen, and we've seen solid commitments from key stakeholders. Once the necessary steps are in place, we can look at bringing games to São Paulo, and potentially returning to Rio as well. What's holding things back? The biggest challenge right now is infrastructure. There currently isn't an arena in Brazil that fully meets NBA standards, mainly in terms of seating capacity and technical requirements. However, Rio de Janeiro is already close. The Rio Arena, now called Farmácia Arena, was built for the 2016 Olympics and has hosted major global sporting events like UFC fights. São Paulo's best venue is the Ibirapuera Gymnasium, but it would need a major renovation to meet NBA specs. There is, however, an exciting plan to build a brand new arena São Paulo that would be fully up to par. The catch? Construction hasn't started yet, even though it was scheduled to begin this year. Brazil, a hot market for global sports. Brazil has proven time and again that it's a prime location for world-class sports. The UFC hosts annual events here, and the NFL recently jumped in too. Their debut game in 2024 was such a hit that two more are already planned for next season at Arena Corinthians in São Paulo, featuring none other than the reigning champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. The NBA, which has been expanding its global footprint with games in countries like Mexico, Spain, and the UAE, clearly sees Brazil as a natural next step. What about the Lakers? Brazil has hosted NBA games before, but only preseason matchups. The first came in 2013, Bulls vs. Wizards, and the second in 2014, Heat vs. Cavaliers, featuring Brazil's own Anderson Varejão. Both were played at Carioca Arena 1 inside the Olympic Park in Rio, which seats around 16,000 fans for basketball. Now, with official regular season games potentially on the table, could we see the iconic Los Angeles Lakers play in Brazil? Given the team's massive fan base here, it makes perfect sense, and it would likely be a major financial win for the league. Other teams with strong followings in Brazil include the Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors, Chicago Bulls, Milwaukee Bucks, Brooklyn Nets, and New York Knicks. If the NBA follows the NFL strategy of bringing over teams with the largest fan bases, Brazilians might soon be cheering on their favorite teams right from the stands. Just be warned, if these games do happen, tickets will be in very high demand, and prices are expected to follow suit. Building momentum, what comes next? With excitement growing and conversations happening at the highest levels, the return of NBA games to Brazil is becoming more than just wishful thinking, it's a strategic goal. What's especially promising is that the talks are no longer hypothetical. The NBA has already begun identifying what Brazil needs to become a viable host for official games. Local and international investors are actively exploring ways to bridge the infrastructure gap. Tatum's meetings in São Paulo weren't just symbolic, they sparked real discussions about what's needed in terms of logistics, facilities, and fan experience. One proposed solution is fast-tracking the Arena São Paulo project, a modern venue that would meet all of the NBA's technical demands. If construction begins soon, it could change the entire equation. Meanwhile, the Farmácia Arena in Rio remains a strong contender due to its Olympic-grade infrastructure. Its successful hosting of global events like the UFC has proven its readiness. For many fans, a return to Rio, where Brazil's first NBA experiences happened, would be both nostalgic and exciting. Why Brazil matters to the NBA? Brazil isn't just a passionate sports nation, it's a growing media and consumer market. The NBA has seen a steady rise in Brazilian viewership, merchandise sales, and digital engagement over the past decade. According to league executives, Brazil is one of the most engaged international audiences, especially among younger fans who follow teams like the Lakers, Warriors, and Celtics religiously on social media. Brazil also holds strategic value for the NBA's larger globalization efforts. Much like Mexico City and Abu Dhabi, two international cities that recently hosted official NBA games, São Paulo and Rio are global hubs with massive economic and cultural influence. Bringing the NBA here would not only satisfy existing fans but could open the door to partnerships, sponsorships, and grassroots basketball programs that would strengthen the league's long-term presence in South America. What are the fans saying? Unsurprisingly, the Brazilian fan base has erupted with excitement across social media. Hashtags like #NBABrazil and #LakersKnoBrazil have trended, with fans speculating which teams might come and how much they'd pay for tickets. Influencers, sports analysts, and former players have also weighed in, calling it a long-overdue move and a potential game-changer for basketball in the region. Some fans, however, have raised concerns about accessibility. With ticket prices expected to be steep, similar to recent NFL games in São Paulo, there's hope that the league will work with local partners to offer broader access and affordable seating options. A look to the future. While no dates have been confirmed, the message from the NBA is clear: Brazil is on the radar, and things are in motion. The next few months will be critical as government officials, investors, and the league itself assess what can be achieved, and how fast. Whether it's the Lakers, Celtics, or another iconic franchise, one thing's for sure: when the NBA finally returns to Brazil, it won't just be a game, it'll be an event. A cultural moment. And for millions of Brazilian fans, it'll be the realization of a dream that's been years in the making. Dalton Knecht's rise, fall, and redemption, what his roller coaster season meant for the Lakers. The 2024-25 NBA season was anything but ordinary for Los Angeles Lakers rookie Dalton Knecht. It was a year of highs, lows, and hard lessons, all under the bright, unforgiving lights of one of the league's most storied franchises. For any young player, getting drafted by the Lakers is a dream come true. For Knecht, a standout from the University of Tennessee, that dream became reality when he was selected 17th overall in the 2024 NBA draft. Coming off an explosive senior season in college, one that earned him consensus All-American honors, Knecht arrived in LA with real momentum. And for a while, it looked like the Lakers had found a hidden gem in the mid-first round. A hot start in purple and gold. Dalton didn't waste time making his presence felt. By November 2024, he was turning heads across the league, dropping 114 points over a 5-game stretch and quickly climbing into the Rookie of the Year conversation. During that red-hot month, the 23-year-old averaged 13.6 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.2 assists in 26.4 minutes per game, numbers that placed him firmly on the radar of fans, analysts, and opponents alike. According to SofaScore by the NBA trade deadline, Knecht was averaging 9.4 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 0.9 assists per game while shooting a solid 46.5% from the field and 35.8% from beyond the arc. He was efficient, energetic, and full of promise. But then, everything changed. The trade that shook his confidence. In a surprising mid-season move, the Lakers traded Knecht to the Charlotte Hornets in a deal centered around big man Mark Williams. The trade didn't last long. LA eventually rescinded the deal, but the damage had already been done. For a young player still finding his footing, the trade felt like a vote of no confidence. Despite being brought back to Los Angeles, Knecht's rhythm was disrupted. Reports suggest that head coach J.J. Redick began losing faith in the rookie, cutting his minutes and altering his role. As expected, the hit to Knecht's confidence was significant. February 2025 was a low point. He averaged just 5.1 points, 1.6 rebounds, and 0.4 assists in 13.6 minutes per game. His spark was dimmed, his swagger shaken. Fighting to reclaim his role. March brought a small resurgence. Knecht's minutes increased slightly to 19.2 per game, and he managed to average 10.1 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. It was a sign of progress, but not quite a return to form. Then came April, and with it, another downturn. Redick reduced his playing time again, and when the 2025 NBA playoffs rolled around, it was clear, Knecht was no longer a central part of the Lakers' rotation. He appeared in just 2 postseason games, logging a total of 4 minutes. His playoff averages, 2.5 points and 1.5 rebounds, reflected the limited opportunity rather than his potential. What this means for the Lakers, and Knecht. Knecht's rookie season is a case study in how quickly fortunes can change in the NBA. From a breakout candidate to a benchwarmer, his journey reveals both the fragility and resilience required to thrive in professional basketball. Yet there's still a silver lining. Behind the scenes, Lakers veterans reportedly stepped in to support Knecht, helping him rebuild his confidence. That mentorship could be key to his future development. And make no mistake, Dalton Knecht's story is far from over. His talent is undeniable. What he needs now is trust, time, and the right system to grow. For the Lakers, how they handle promising players like Knecht could say a lot about the franchise's direction under J.J. Redick. For fans, it's a reminder that development isn't always linear, and sometimes, the most rewarding stories come after a setback. Why it's unlikely Austin Reaves signs a contract extension with the Lakers this offseason. Most of the buzz around the Lakers this offseason has been centered on superstar Luka Doncic and potential moves around him. But quietly flying under the radar is another important storyline. Austin Reaves is also eligible for a contract extension this summer. Here's the catch: due to the structure of his current deal, which was the most the Lakers could offer him at the time, the maximum extension they can now offer falls short of what Reaves could realistically earn on the open market. While Los Angeles is limited to a 4-year, $89 million extension, league insiders expect Reaves to command closer to $30 million per year if he hits free agency in 2026. That's why ESPN's Bobby Marks believes Reaves is likely to pass on an extension this summer and bet on himself. It's nobody's fault, but Reaves and the Lakers might just be in a holding pattern until the timing is right. Reaves signed a 4-year, $53.8 million deal with the Lakers in 2023, the maximum the team could legally offer under the rules at the time. His salary for the 2025-26 season, $13.9 million, is not only below the league average but also less than the mid-level exception most teams can offer to role players. Ironically, that team-friendly contract could be what sets him up for a much bigger payday. Because of the current collective bargaining agreement, the Lakers are only allowed to offer him a 4-year, $89.2 million extension. The first-year salary in that deal would be $19.9 million, capped at 140% of the league average salary, as per CBA rules. What does this mean for Reaves? All signs point to him skipping an extension this summer, opting instead to hit free agency in 2026. By turning down his $14.9 million player option for the 2026-27 season, he could open the door to a significantly larger and longer-term deal, potentially still with the Lakers. The intricacies of the NBA's financial rules are front and center here. While many expected Reaves to get a massive offer sheet from another team in 2023, it never came. That allowed the Lakers to re-sign him to a bargain deal that has only aged better with time. But counting on Reaves to take another below-market deal would be unrealistic, and frankly, unfair. Austin Reaves is on one of the most team-friendly contracts in the league. He's outperformed it, and he deserves to be paid accordingly. And with how highly he's regarded within the Lakers organization, chances are he'll get that payday, in purple and gold. Austin Reaves' agent responds to trade rumors. Although it's not the Lakers' top priority right now, there's still a slim chance Reaves could be traded this offseason. He's arguably the team's most valuable trade asset if they choose to make him available. That speculation has led to some wild trade proposals floating around online, many of which seriously undervalue him. His agent, Aaron Riley of AMR Agency, took to social media to shut those rumors down with a clear message: Reaves is locked in, ready to dominate next season, and shouldn't be thrown into trade talks for backup centers. The message was loud and clear: Reaves isn't just some throw-in piece. He's a rising star, and he's planning to prove it. Austin Reaves, navigating the crossroads of ambition and loyalty. As the 2025 offseason unfolds, Austin Reaves stands at a pivotal juncture in his career. The Los Angeles Lakers, having secured a 4-year, $53.8 million contract extension with Reaves in 2023, the maximum permissible under the collective bargaining agreement, now find themselves in a complex position. The extension, while advantageous at the time, has become a double-edged sword. The Lakers are limited to offering Reaves a 4-year, $89.2 million extension this summer, which falls short of his projected market value of approximately $30 million annually if he enters free agency in 2026. The strategic dilemma. This financial constraint places both Reaves and the Lakers in a delicate situation. Reaves, having outperformed his current contract, is poised to seek a deal that reflects his true value. The Lakers, on the other hand, face the prospect of losing a key contributor without receiving commensurate value in return. This scenario has led to speculation about potential trade options, including a reported interest from a Utah Jazz in a draft pick swap involving Reaves. TimesOfIndia.IndiaTimes.com. Fan reactions and organizational strategy. The Lakers fanbase has been vocal in its reactions to these developments. Some supporters advocate for facilitating a sign-and-trade deal to maximize asset return, while others express a desire to retain Reaves, citing his integral role in the team's success. This divide underscores the broader uncertainty surrounding the Lakers' strategic direction. With LeBron James' potential retirement looming, the franchise faces critical decisions about its future roster composition. Reaves' agent responds to trade speculation. Amidst the swirling trade rumors, Reaves' agent, Aaron Riley, has taken a firm stance. Utilizing social media platforms, Riley has publicly defended Reaves' value to the Lakers, emphasizing his adaptability and unselfish play style. Riley's statements serve as a reminder of Reaves' importance to the team's dynamics and his potential to continue contributing significantly in the future. Looking ahead. As the 2025-26 season approaches, the Lakers management faces a critical decision: negotiate a contract extension that aligns with Reaves' market value or risk losing him to free agency. The outcome of this decision will have lasting implications for the team's competitiveness and financial flexibility in the post-LeBron era. For Reaves, the coming months represent a defining period in his professional journey, balancing ambition with loyalty to a franchise that has supported his growth.